Hey, it's working. And he's typing like a... Okay. Stream key works. Sorry, guys. We had to get a new key because they changed something during the live stream deal.
Oh, God, what's happening?
We're live. Is it working?
We're live, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Mind blown. So, okay, we're just real quick, just doing a sound check, and then we'll actually start the show. Sound check from Geekdomo.
Check.
Go ahead, Lock, you're next. You're over here this time, Lock.
Saying words, giving out opinions, tossing them out like candy. All
He's
hopped up
rap.
on drugs and caffeine, so it should be an interesting show.
Trending.
Also,
Yes.
is Omid here yet? You
No.
were mean to me.
The Pentapod's here, though. Go ahead,
The
Omid.
bone-
Or, Omid. Trendane, say stuff.
Which of us is more important, really? I mean, well, which of them is more important? Is Omid more important than Pentapod, or is it the other way around?
Well, Pentapod's here, so she's definitely more important than Omid.
Well, there you go. Then I guess we have our answer, don't we?
All right, Tobran, speak.
Well,
Words.
It's Amit's fault for not turning up, you know? He's meant to be the face of the community. No, he's not. I got that wrong, didn't I?
Trendane is echoing. Hold on, let me turn it down a little bit.
Forget I spoke.
He's the
I'll just
face
be
of the marketing machine. Whereas
So it'll just be on every box if we make
Dex
photos, it'll
Teller
be
is
his
the
face across it.
Okay, only I'm not echoing. Okay, so I can solve that. I gotta put on the blue muffins. I didn't want to wear these. I can't stand these headphones.
oh, but she's so pretty.
They're just gorgeous. Look at it. It matches my shirt at least.
In a minute, I'll just put mine on in solidarity.
Yeah, hold on a second. Omid can't have a
Now
day
we will
off from our show. This isn't work for him. This is enjoyment.
Jeez. How dare he have non-working life? Like, come on.
Well,
That is-
no. Now, the whole reason that he might not be here is because of Locke up there.
He's all sick. He's got cooties. All right, so the echoing is good. We fixed the echo problem. All right, we'll be right back. Un momento, por favor.
Safe.
It's that time again for EverQuest Next Into the Portal. Your hosts for this evening are Geekdomo, LockSixTime, and Trendane. Let's get to the show right about now. Hello, everybody, and we have a special guest tonight, Mr. Tobran,
Hello.
who's over here,
Yeah.
down there. I get this all backwards.
Yeah.
Well, I'll figure it out.
That's
Yeah,
why
so many guys
during
want.
that's why during our test when we were doing that, that's why I was like, because the fact that Omid's not here is all his fault. I'm like, is it right? Okay, yes.
You
good.
were dead on with that. You pointed right in the right
Just make
spot.
sure it's okay.
A lot
So,
of times I'll be rubbing my face and I'll do this, and I'm watching my spot in the thing to see which way I'm pointing, so that I know where I am relative to
A
everybody.
good way of doing it. is
Shit,
like,
I gave away all my secrets.
that's a good idea. I didn't even think of doing something like that.
for now.
All right, so first off, Zaphos update. Didn't he get both of his legs replaced with goat legs?
Breast.
Goat breasts. No, he got the breast
No, he got
augmentation.
his legs replaced with goat breasts.
Makes
Just
it
shoots
difficult
out
to
the
walk.
milk and hovers
They weren't
around.
replaced. He had them added to his legs.
Oh, I see. So that's that. And in the lower right hand corner is Mr. Tobran. So Tobran, tell us a little bit about yourself. You've been on the show before, but some people are asking, who the heck are you?
I'm a YouTuber, I suppose, doing some EverQuest videos, but yeah, that's it. Huge people here as well. That's really it.
That's not it. You
really
twist
cool
my ego and tell me
YouTube
more about
videos.
myself.
He does do some great
videos. You do a really
videos.
good dwarf impression.
Yes.
I really don't.
Listen to him. He sounds just like a dwarf.
What did I say that sounded dwarvish?
That
Right there. Words.
Okay, right. Okay, we're done.
Come on.
Okay.
shut up.
You're just
Shut
showing
down,
off.
computer. Flip
Yeah.
the whole desk. We're
You
done.
do such a better Scottish accent than I do.
That is because I am Scottish.
It could be.
Good.
There you go. That's another thing. Scottish YouTuber.
Scottish YouTuber, not too many. Drinking a
With-
tall boy.
with boyish good looks, according to the Twitch channel.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
see?
Well, he's the only non-shaved one.
Ladies.
And the funny thing is, he's Scottish. He should, and he's a dwarf, so he should have a very long flowing beard. But of course, I think he's an exiled dwarf, which they shave more often.
So
Alright.
I just get this image of him standing in the Highlands with his
Yes, exactly. It's November.
It's
All
a
right,
beautiful
everybody.
time in every man's life. The first time you feel the wind blowing through your beard. It's glorious.
Oh god. No. Anyway, so we have so much cool stuff to talk about, and of course we have Locke and Trendane, and I forgot the titles, so you guys know who you are. It was crazy technical difficulties thing as always.
They all know we're
Yeah.
surely.
And of course, and tonight we already have Pentapod in the audience, who's awesome, and hi Pentapod,
She's better than Omid.
way better than Omid.
Oh yeah, by far.
So when Omid watches this later on, Locke told me to say that, so I'm selling him down the river.
It's like a standing order, really.
Right. Anything we must say to beat up Omid, it's a great idea. All right, so I guess we can get into the stuff because we got so much to talk about. I mean, we have like 2 hours worth of stuff to talk about before we even discuss the question and answers, which everybody...
Whose
What?
birthday is next? Mine's in June, so
Mine's in
whose-
June.
Mine's is in August, so
Yours just went by.
Locke?
Yeah, we just missed mine. Last week was going to be my birthday stream, but
In his birthday
it's gonna
suit.
happen.
And then he caught a cold.
And
Yeah.
Domo, your birthday's
June 30th.
okay, so it's real close to mine. I was going to say we need to get an Omid pinata and just
Break it open on our birthday. An effigy.
go ahead.
Effigy gel.
Yeah.
So the questions, yes. So everybody in the audience, if you'd like to ask questions of us, like we are not developers, we're just complete crazy fanatics. So that's why we do this show. But if you
crazy.
and we study like crazy, so we might have some answers for you. So just go ahead and write the question in brackets, and just say question, and then say what the question is. And we have a question fairy in the audience tonight, who is Meika, and Meika is going to be doing all of the questions. Yeah, just like that. Question, what's a question? Just like that. So then we can see it and we can grab it and put it in the chat. So go ahead and start asking those questions now if you want, and then we'll get it going. Okay. So topic number 1, big reveal Monday news. Oh, I got to show you something. This is into the portal, right? So
Yes.
now I have
that's what it says.
a portal.
What's
I got a portal. Right there.
It's so pretty over there.
It's magical.
It
Guess
really is.
guess where I got that?
Oh.
Ooh.
Draenor.
No, yes, we're going to talk about World of Warcraft tonight.
Shh.
No, that's from Landmark. Yeah, that's. I just turned the alpha channel way down, and it's just white, so it's like a portal, like the background.
So
But
it's a
it's-
racist portal.
Yeah, it's just it actually doesn't loop very well, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. But all right, so big reveal Monday news. What was the big news that came out this week, guys? That we're all so excited about.
Everyone just be quiet. We'll be fine.
What? Are you kidding me? Okay, so
Go
they
on,
announced.
just answer.
Yeah.
I guess I'll answer it. I was waiting. Go ahead, Locke.
alpha dates, beta dates. We had founders packages all launched on Monday after Dave Georgeson tweeted 11/11/11/11, which was Monday. We had a whole heap of stuff thrown onto us, and it was a glorious day, and there was much rejoicing throughout the land
and gnashing of teeth.
So it means those of us who've coughed up a little bit of money are going to be playing EverQuest Next Landmark on or before the 28th of February.
Pentapod, we need at least an alpha access for Trendane.
What computer am I going to play it on?
It'll play. It'll play. It'll
Make
work.
it play. Fine.
You know, I have a hard time running Chrome and Audacity at the same time.
You need more RAM, I think.
I've got 4 gigs in there. I almost said megs. It's like, well, no wonder.
Yeah, 4 meg, yeah. Just big spender. We'll get you sorted out, Trendane. Just we need to get him an alpha or something.
Yeah, we'll do a Kickstarter for you.
No,
That's a great idea.
No, it is not.
A Kickstarter for Trendane. We'll get him a new computer and the alpha, the Trailblazer pack.
Yeah.
No.
I'll chip in for sure.
Yeah?
No, what I'm going to do is I am eventually, probably sometime later this week, or not later this week, there's really not that much this week left. Probably first thing next week, I will get the Settler pack, because even if I can't play it, I still want to support the game. So my next check will hit at that point, and I'll be able to afford to at least get a Settler's pack. So I definitely want to do that.
Okay, so let's talk about the packs then. So Settler pack is $20, $19.99, and you get into unlimited beta, which we'll talk about the unlimited beta and the other beta in just a second. Then there is the Explorer pack, which is the next one up, which is $59.99. What's it over there in the UK, guys? For these packs,
40 quid.
40 quid for
You can convert it on the website. It's got like a converter to different currencies, which is a really nice touch actually. So cheers SOE. That was really thoughtful.
Yep. And then the top end one, which is the Trailblazer, and that gets you $100.
7,000.
Which is 75 of the Queen coins. What are they?
GBPs.
Great British Pounds.
Great British Pounds.
Sterling.
So yeah, it's a big stretch. Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk on a touchy subject for a second. I know that we're supporting the game, and that's great. But it's a free-to-play game, and we're all dumping money. It's a lot like Star Citizen in some regards. But what do you guys think about paying for alpha and beta? What are your thoughts?
Kind of mixed, I suppose. I mean, on one hand, it's great. We get priority access to the game.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, is it such a great thing to see like a half-finished game? I mean, it'd be great to see it, develop as it goes. But for some people, it might be like, oh, they've seen the game at a very early stage and might think, oh, this is actually quite crap. I'm not going to play it again. And they've not really given it a chance because they've not seen how it's going to be when it's finished. I think that's going to be the main problem. What
are your thoughts, Sir Locke?
It is an interesting thing, paying £75. That's a lot of money for a computer game. But it's interesting you mentioned Star Citizen. How much money people have thrown at that just because they believe in the premise of it and they believe in the idea and they want to see it be successful with very little to show for it. And we have seen quite a lot of EverQuest Next. Really, we've seen enough and heard enough to say we believe in this and we're willing to support it with our money in the same way as people do on Kickstarter, I guess. I don't like to think of it in terms of paying for alpha or paying for beta. I think that access, should be seen as more of a bonus for kind of contributing and believing in the project. Because remember, when it comes out, it's free to play. Like anyone... Sorry, I'm so ill. Anyone who wants to download and play the game can do it for free. That no one is under any obligation whatsoever to pay. We're just people that are willing to support the project. With a little bit of money before it goes live, and I think that's nice. I think it's a nice thing for us to do, isn't it?
What do you think, Trendane?
Figures it would come to me next. The guy who did QA for the last 10 years. I think the most critical thing is for people to remember that you're not going to be playing the game. You know, I mean, it's you play a finished game, and that's out there. From my perspective, you are basically paying to get all the extra cool stuff,
the goodies,
the various goodies that come with each pack. Some part of me thinks that there's probably going to be more.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be little treats that are going to come down the pike later on.
Different outfits.
Something.
Yeah.
Much like with Star Citizen, I think a lot of the funds that are going into it are going to go directly into its development. And so, in a way, not only by helping to test the game by getting into the alpha and the beta and whatnot, because if you think you're just going to get in there and play it and not report bugs when you see them, you are dead wrong.
Or not see bugs.
Sure. Yeah, because they're going to be plenty.
They're going to fall to the earth. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that the money will go towards the development, just like our feedback will go towards the development. And with the level of transparency that we've seen from Sony so far, I think it's a brilliant thing, because it's very clear that they definitely want to give us the opportunity to help if we want to. So yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think
that's the thing as well.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to say, what a privilege to be able, to get into a game at such an early stage, and really, hopefully, like Trendane says, it'll be at the point where we'll be able to get in and really drive development. And I remember Dave Georgeson in the video they released today said it's great how many people are buying the Trailblazer packs. How many people really
that's what I was going to say,
because as I was saying, it's people that want to support the project. And we want to get in, and I'm just speaking for myself, but I want to get in, and I want to try and help make it the best game that I can with in the limited way that I can, but still being able to make it such a great experience, and being able to make it the thing that I'm really hoping it's going to become. And 5 years down the line, when it's this huge megalithic monstrosity of a success, you'll be able to go back and go, well, I was in the alpha and it nearly wasn't like this.
Mm-hmm.
There was nearly just one giant statue of Omid Doriani, and think of all the effort we had to put into overthrowing him during the interstellar war that happened after Skynet was built in Adma.
Exactly. No, I think it's a great thing. Just like with Star Citizen. Now, the reason I brought it up in the way that I did is there are a certain group of people that sort of feel that Sony is a much bigger company than, say, Chris Roberts Space Industries, SIG. And those people are trying to build this game from right off the ground from scratch. So it seems a little bit better to support them than, say, a company like Sony. But Sony is very big, has many divisions, and the more money that they can generate now will ultimately pay off for everybody in the long run, because they'll be able to have better quests. They'll be able to add things to the game that they probably couldn't have done without having to go back to the parent company and say, hey, can we get another $10 million to do this thing? Where now enough people have put into it where they can just go, you know what, we just take money out of that coffer and use it to develop this or that.
And this is also concrete data that they can push upstream and say, no, look, people are really interested in this. They want it.
3/4 have bought the Trailblazer pack. Of all the packs, most people have been buying that. So that right there says that people are invested in this game significantly.
Literally, yeah.
But yes, Chris Roberts is God, so that does help. So,
well, I think it's a great thing, especially for a free-to-play game. The way I see it, every penny I put towards a free-to-play game is a few other people that don't have to pay for it, but will still be in the game. And I always talk about added value when we talk about these things, but just players being in the game, players being around you is it adds to the social nature of the game. It gives you more opportunities to play. So for every person that can just log in and play and not have to worry about paying anything, that's better for everyone. So
yeah. Zarya just says that we are whales. Don't quite know what that means.
You're Welsh.
Oh, Welsh, maybe.
No, there's no H in Wales.
God, David's turned up.
Oh, here's Omid. Oh, crap.
He's here.
Speak the name of the devil and he shall arrive.
Up he jumps. Now there goes all of our fun.
Oh, no. Oh no, we're still gonna have fun at his expense. Oh, yeah.
So let's real quick just talk about the goodies that come in the packs, and then we'll go on from there. So the low level one, you basically get the beta access. You get a flag. Let me see. I got the flags here. It's the which one is it? The
Settler's Pack.
Settler. Sweet flag.
There we go. This is this flag you get, and then what else do you get? And you get the alpha, or you get the beta access, unlimited beta. Now the difference is in the pack that you get the Trailblazer later on, it comes with beta keys, but those are only good for a week, where this one's unlimited beta. So however long beta goes, you're in if you get this pack, which is a $20 pack. And so then the next thing that you have is you also get the pickaxe, right?
Yeah.
The pickaxe comes in this.
Yeah.
So let's go show the pickaxe. Founder's pick. So little fun note here, that is the icon for Brel, is the axe with the glowing orb thing on top, if you are into the lore at all. So it is a pick and an axe, pickaxe. And normal pickaxes have an axe on one side and a pick on the other, but this is kind of combining them together. And so you will be able to chop down the trees in the forest with this. I think he said all trees you can get with this.
Even the diamond ones.
Even the diamond trees.
It's it's an interesting combination, actually, because we know that there's 5 tiers of gear, and the pick part of it is the top tier 1, so it is the most efficient at farming tier 1 materials that you can get.
Rock.
Whereas the axe is the lowest of the tier 5 axes. So the axe can harvest any type of wood, but it's the least efficient at harvesting tier 5, whereas the pick can only harvest tier 1. As far as I'm aware, but it's the most efficient at it, so it's interesting.
You can get every tree with this. Just it takes a lot more wax to take it down.
Yeah. It's nice. It's a nice little kind of leg up, but it's not really. It's not so much of an advantage. Oh God, we'll get into that pay-to-win nonsense later, but it's not so much of an advantage.
I did a whole show on it. We can talk about that if you want.
No, please no.
Okay.
I'll get annoyed.
1 second here.
All right, I'm already ill. You have to be nice to me.
Where is that written? I don't have that in my notes.
It was in your contract.
What?
Well, I'm trying to find the.
I don't want to contract anything from you.
Oh well.
Too late.
We'll figure it out. All right, so back to the different ones. Then we go up from there to the Explorers pack. So what's in the Explorers pack? We get a new type of outfits for the men and women, which is called the Courtier's Regalia. So I'm showing it right now on the screen. This is the outfit that comes for the males and the females.
Isn't it the Courtier's?
Courtier's Regalia.
Yeah.
I pronounced it wrong?
I didn't hear you say the co part of it. All I heard was Tears Regalia. I'm like,
Courtier's Regalia. Yeah, I might have skipped.
Courtier's Regalia. That's right.
And you also, of course, you get everything from the previous tier, or the previous one. So you get the axe, and you also get the... what else do you get here? You get the bag thing, which I don't have a video for that.
Yep, you get the bag thing.
You can
which is something I assume will be in the cash shop as well. I think that's probably something they've just lifted straight out.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
We'll call it a TARDIS pouch.
Inventory space, it's such an obvious thing for a free-to-play game, isn't it? You don't have to have it, but it's convenient.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, a lot of we can talk about this in a second, but a lot of the issues that people are having with this being pay to win and all that is they think that this is only a one-time deal. And I think no matter all the things that are in this might be unique looking for us because we got in it, and you could say this shows that I was with this, but there are probably going to be other tier 1 axes or pickaxes and other bag enhancements and other rings of finding stuff and all the other things. So
it'll all be low level stuff. I think people are crying because they think it's going to be the best thing that you can get in the game, or it'll be better than what they can get. And honestly, if previous games with cash shops are anything to go by, then it's not going to be like that at all.
So one more thing in this pack is also the ring that I was just mentioning, and the ring is it gets exclusive. It can exclusives can be equipped to give you a 10% bonus to all resource gathering when out exploring in the world. So if you gather 100 diamonds at the time you finished gathering your 100 diamonds, you will have got up to 110 possibly. Right? Is that kind of
that means you win.
You win
because you paid. So
and
you won.
Yeah.
Well done.
You win.
You win. 10
See,
diamonds.
For me, it's completely the other way around. I mean, I'm much more the kind of. But then, sorry, Toby, I love crafting.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like somebody would be using that pickaxe, and I would walk up and go, "Oh yeah, you got the thing," and then I would pull out the axe that I made this. You just went off and bought it, you lazy piece of I made this.
The sweat of my brow dripping into the hot forge as I pounded it with the hammer. Yeah. I guess it's a touchy subject. We won't go there right yet. Okay, so the final one is the Trailblazer pack, and that's the one that's been the most successful. It's $100. Also on the Explorer, you get alpha access, which is going to start on or before February 28th. So Omid tonight was going to tell us exactly what date the alpha started. Omid, because he's listening. And Trendane's got a fork. He's like, "Fork you, Omid. Fork you." And then he's going to spoon him next because it's more painful. Anyway.
I thought you meant spoon.
Yeah, no, we're not spooning like that. Anyway, so the next pack is the Trailblazer pack, and that one comes with alpha access. You get the Trailblazer flag. I'll go ahead and show what these little goodies look like while we're talking about them. This is the settler flag. This is the Trailblazer flag right here. So you get this, and you also get access to the alpha forums for Landmark, which on that forum you can have a. That's a very good joke, Geekdomo. Yeah. So on the forums you get this. You can have the same kind of logo. The one thing is you can't upload your own avatars on the forums, but I guess that's why, because what they're doing is you'll be able to use this as your avatar, this flag. And if you could upload your own logo, you could just download it and re-upload it and be like, "Yeah, see, I'm a founder too. I got the same logo."
Got the epic title.
Yeah, the titles and all that. What other goodies? You get the Void Vault. I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like, which we talked about earlier a minute ago. This is the Void Vault, which apparently you will be able to build yourself eventually just by crafting. So even though you start off the game with this vault, it allows you to access your bank from anywhere, I believe. Do you guys have more details on this? I don't know the exact details of all about the vault.
Yeah, it was in the.
No, you go.
Sorry, Tobran, after you, sir.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
I am sure.
Don't test me, boy.
Yeah, Illidan's coming through there. You are not prepared.
Yeah, he's sick. Make him shut up for a while. You go, Toby.
Yeah, Toby, you're drinking all that beer and stuff.
Alright, from what I know from this is that you put items in it, and then you open up another portal somewhere else, and you can take items straight out. It's almost like a instant bank, almost. You can put anything in and take anything out. And it means you can just take... It's like almost having extra inventory space, except it's like slightly less convenient. But, yeah, I like the fact that you said you can actually build it in-game. It's just a small perk, because you're going to need 2 of these if you want to use it. And if they give you 1,
right,
then...
You put stuff in, it never comes back out again.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And then what else we get? You also get the Noble's Regalia. Now, I like the looks of this.
This was the whole reason I bought the
Me too.
Trailblazer pack. I'm not going to deny it. It just looks so good.
It's a nice looking outfit. It really is.
Oh, look at that cape. So nice.
It really got me thinking about how the gear and itemization is going to work, though. You see the way the cloak's sort of all the way around his neck, and there's like shoulders in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it does make me think of how much of gear is going to be sort of a purely cosmetic thing. How crazy are we going to be able to go with designs of stuff? If you think you could quite easily sort of tweak that so it went all the way over his head as well, and or further down the chest and up on the neck, and
I could see that.
It's just interesting the way that like the different sort of pieces of gear are going to be separated on a character's body.
I still think that's just a shoulder. It's like a high necked type of shoulder that you'd have, and then the helmet would go inside of that, so you'd look a little bit like who's that guy from Doctor Who? He has that really big head.
Santaran.
Yeah. And then the cape obviously is separate, and then the gloves and boots and everything kind of line up. And then we also have the Tech Commander's gear, which I forgot to show the high-tech gear from the previous pack, but you just get the point. It basically looks like this, but it doesn't have the same glowy greaves, I think. But yeah, neat. Very cool looking, especially at nighttime, running around with these lights glowing and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, totally. So pretty.
That makes it easier for the ogre raiding parties to
see you. Look at this fool running around with his lights on.
I did think it was a really nice touch for them to put a bit of sci-fi stuff in there from the start.
Yeah.
Almost, just to encourage people to, think outside the box a little bit and not just make stuff that you could use for EverQuest.
Right. Which brings us to a point that we'll talk about that in just a second. We'll get to that. Last little bit about this. You also get 4 shareable closed beta keys, which is pretty nice. They're only a week-long key, though, so if you think you're going to give them out to 4 friends and they'll be able to play forever, no, just for a week. And then you also get this limited time.
Although it was clarified that they do. You can have what am I trying to
stackable.
Say? They're stackable from day. I'm ill. Leave me alone.
He's sick. He's taking lots of drugs with caffeine.
Nice.
Yeah. You also get your name in the credits, which is awesome. But they haven't asked, there was no specification of, and something I'd like to hear clarified at some point. What name do you want to put in? Do you want to put your online name, like Geekdomo for me or LockSixTime for you?
No, it's all Google Plus. You have to use your real name.
You have to use your real name. Yeah. God. You saw my rant about Google Plus. No, that was.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, not good. So yeah, I'd like to see that clarified. Like they give us some kind of thing to say where would we like, what name would we like to have in the credits? I want Captain Stinky Pants. Whatever. But that's what I want in the credits.
That's probably the exact reason why they've not done that.
Probably not.
They go completely.
It's awkward for me because my name is Jesus Hitler, and people always think I'm joking.
Jesus.
It's just awkward.
Jesus Hitler sounds better. Okay, then you also get access to the beta forum, which you didn't get that with the other one. I'm sorry, and the forum title of Trailblazer. What's up?
Well, I'm just wondering, if you got your name in the credits for the game, does that mean it also goes up on Moby Games, where all the credits for all the games are listed and everything? Because
so then you get cool. then you're part of the. You gotta get a SAG card. Yeah, you gotta get a SAG card and do the whole deal. Alpha Boost gives you a 20% bonus to collecting resources for 2 weeks of real time during Alpha. Now, this is the one that trips me up the most. They're going to do a wipe. They're going to take away everything you got. So why bother? I mean, I guess if the Alpha is like 6 months long, then it's not because it's only a month long. So for 2 weeks of that month, you get a boost to gather items. What's it good for, really? Because they're going to take it all away. It's not like you get to keep the alpha stuff when you carry over.
Remember, you're there to test the game. It's just to help speed up the process. So
I guess, but I wouldn't list it as I wouldn't call it a perk. I would just say, whatever, that this is some kind of temporary deal.
Now, this makes me wonder, do you have to use this thing?
And save it up and use it during actual release?
No. Because one of the things with QA is that you would have to have some people who are using the thing that accelerates your advancement, and then you have to have some people that are not using it, so that you can see the two different things. So if it's compulsory to use it, then that's a problem.
Okay.
As it's an item, I assume that it's not compulsory to use it. Also, on the live stream, they were very emphatic that anything that anything that you paid money to get, like you're not going to just lose it. It's not going to poof go away.
They're not going to take away your titles and stuff. But they are going to wipe. They're not going to take away your titles and things like that, like the titles that you got by doing this. But they are going to take away your buildings and materials that you gathered between alpha and beta. And they're actually, I think, yeah. Okay, so Omid says I'm 99% sure it's a potion. You can use it whenever you want, but it'll be wiped if you don't use it before alpha ends. Okay. That makes sense then. So if you knew that you're going to be playing for the next 2 weeks solid, then you want to save it till the last 2 weeks of the alpha or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, good. Thank you, Omid. All right, so that's pretty much all the new stuff in a nutshell, right? That we covered all the different tiers that came out this Monday and the excitement on that.
Yep.
I think, yeah.
So
Pronounced.
I'm hoping it's going to start sooner than February 28th, but
I think we all are. I mean, they did say February 28th was the latest they would do
right,
it.
that's your drop dead date. They're not
Yeah.
going to go any longer than that.
So it would definitely be before that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And Omi's just made a good point, and other people mentioned as well that you can save all your templates in between the different phases of alpha and beta. And as we know, you can replace any material very easily. So you could, when you get to beta, you could just put your template up, make it all out of dirt, and then go out and as you find the different materials that you use it with, just
Change
replace
it over.
them.
Yeah.
So it's just a question of going out and gathering things again, which.
That's a great question. That's something I didn't really see in all the videos that I watched, and I watched the live stream and all the footage. When they're building that, just the generic gray block, did they have to go get that block first, or is that just something you can build out of it to start with? Like that's just your starter brick, like dirt. Like you can build it out of that first, those sort of gray blocks. I didn't see that really clarified anywhere, and so maybe
I think you need to go out and get that. I
You
think
have to
they just
get
had
that.
it on them just to show off.
all right. And so if you
I don't
wanted
know,
to,
I think. Sorry.
I was gonna say if you want to build this
I
massive
remember seeing
statue to
somewhere.
Omid, right? So you're going to build this massive Omid statue. You're going to have to go out and gather all of that block to build that, or is that just something you can build right from scratch? We don't know. It's a tier 1 material, somebody says. Well, we'll find out.
I'm sure I remember seeing somewhere that certain materials you just had an infinite amount of, things like dirt and rock and just things that are everywhere. That's yeah.
Okay.
It's just said.
Omid just
some
says
super common resources,
Yeah.
so they are virtually unlimited.
Okay, cool. And Penabot says, clearly a giant Omid statue would be made out of gold and diamond, which you would have to gather to show your devotion to Omid. That's absolutely true. Okay, here's a question for the devs in the audience. Glass. When's it coming? All right, okay. Let's move on. All right, so our next topic. Well, that was a long topic, that one.
It's a big one.
This is a big one. I had a lot of stuff to talk about. Okay, new roundtable response and question. So, what was the Lock, you're up on this? What was the new roundtable response?
The new roundtable response was a little bit of a talk about death penalties, which I remember being a very hotly debated topic when the question first came up. A lot of the people, a lot of the original EverQuest fans, wanting a very harsh death penalty. They want to go back to the days where death really meant something. And we've heard a lot of talk from the developers as well that they want there to be a sense of danger in the world, and we hear the phrase risk versus reward a lot. So it seems like there is going to be a sting to death, but in the response video, we found out it's not going to be as harsh as the original EverQuest, which I think is probably the right way to go especially for a free-to-play game. But it's definitely something they're still talking about. They're still looking at ideas. One thing I thought was absolutely fantastic. Omid mentioned shut up, Omid. He mentioned there was a thread on Reddit where someone postulated an idea of death penalties being different depending on what killed you. Because obviously different things killing you, they're going to do different things.
Mangle your
to
body.
your body, or perhaps your soul, or your mind, or something, and things like that could create very compelling gameplay indeed. So, but yeah, it's still very much an open topic, and they are looking for ideas and discussion to carry on with it. So, good times.
What are your thoughts, guys?
I don't know. I'm not really a good one to talk about death because I'm too pro. I don't die. But if I die in a game, I don't really expect it to hold me back and not make me think, I don't want to play this for a while.
Like the original
I just
EverQuest?
get back into it, but I have that penalty to know that I've done something wrong.
Well, the original EverQuest, you could lose levels, and that I got stuck in a
Yeah.
death loop once, and I think Terry Michaels even talked about that he didn't want to have some sort of punitive loop system that just destroys you. You know, I mean, one death's okay, two's really bad, and then after that, it should negate all of those effects. What are you thinking there, Trendane? You have the evil eyes going on right now. No, he's good. Okay, he's just hanging out. All right.
I think you want it to have a sting, but you don't want it to be a quit point for people who are just trying it because it's free. Yeah. And they play for a couple of hours and then they die and then they go, oh, what? I lost all my stuff and I lost a level and I have to go and find my body and
Screw this,
and
I'm
I've got
done.
a debuff that I have to wait a certain. You don't want to really pile it on. But at the same time, it depends on so many factors, though. Like, how transitory is gear going to be? A game like DayZ, for example, you lose all your stuff when you die, but it's very much part of the game. Gearing up is a fun part of that game.
Mm-hmm.
Or Minecraft, you drop all your stuff when you
Right.
die, but but everything is very transitory in those games. You'll die often. Your equipment will break or you'll run out of ammo or something. So gear is very disposable. Whereas a lot of people have become used to in MMOs working for a piece of gear. When you're on that gear treadmill, when you got the piece of gear, that's the moment where you go, yes, I've done it, I've finished. You obviously haven't, because it's
the
still
next new
transitory.
piece
You
is
just
gonna
have to
come out.
Wait for them.
Yeah.
But it's when people kind of have that prestige attached to it, and people it creates a that sort of sense of worth for them, to strut around in this piece of gear, and everyone knows that they had to beat X or Y boss.
That actually happened for me in WoW. There was one particular piece of headgear that kind of had like ram horns on the side of it, I think. And
For Wrath Lich King.
When you put it on a Worgen, it makes him look like a Tauntaun, which is awesome. So I really wanted this thing. And they're like, well, there's two versions. There's the PvP version and there's the PvE version. I said, which one is craftable?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And they're like, oh, the PvE version. I said, then give me that one. Like, but it's not as good as... I don't care. I don't
And now that you can
care.
transmute everything. That's something I hope they have in this game. I hope you can do transmutations because in World of Warcraft I'm playing a monk, but I'm playing like a poor monk, like I'm role-playing it, and I bought the lowest level gear I could find, like the rattiest, tattery looking stuff, and I put it on this epic level 500 gear, and I just walk around in this stuff, and I have like a farmer's hat, and I got my head down all the time, and it's really cool to role-play that, and I would like to see transmutation, at least in EverQuest next.
My Worgen priest still wears his neophyte robes he started the game with.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's very pious and he does not feel that he has grown enough as a priest to wear the next set of robes up yet.
Right. There's
even
totally
though he's like level 83, he doesn't
awesome
feel
reasons
like
to do that sort of thing. So I hope that they do that. Yeah.
Which ironically makes him more worthy.
Solid says they will have a costume slot, no need for transmute. But I don't know. Can you wear that costume in battle? Because if that's the case, then I guess. But okay, because
like the EverQuest 2 system, you just have like a whole different tab for just put on different gear for what you actually have.
Okay, but
so
like
you can go
in
on the player studio and just buy a different piece of gear.
Okay, good.
And then
Okay.
have it on top of your gear.
because in Guild Wars 2, when you go into battle, it switches from town clothes to your other
Straight back
clothes.
to your normal armor.
Yeah.
So
You
they
can buy
really.
transmutation stones, but I don't want to pay money to be able to look the way I want.
Mm-hmm.
That seems a bit silly to me. But
Yeah.
God, I've got so many of those things. They just throw them at you now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's like everyone gets the candy. Yeah, the town clothes they really missed a trick with that in Guild Wars 2. It's just
All right,
it's
so back to the topic. We kind of got a little off. Permadeath. So yeah, we kind of fell off the permadeath. The permadeath system that they're talking about, is it really permadeath? I mean, is it going to be, you have to start. You're not starting a new character, obviously, because you're pretty much doing everything. So what kind of death system have they really suggested that sounds like it'll be more realistic? Have you heard anything? For
EverQuest Next,
yeah.
I think it's something that's very much in the design stages at the moment. It seemed like to me from watching the video that they're really still looking at ideas and different ways to approach it. And I think it will be something that's getting tweaked right up until launch, and probably after as well. It's one of those things that's a constant. It's the battle between, it's the shade of grey, isn't it? What's quite light for one person would be far too severe for another person, and how can you reach that sort of perfect compromise?
But now, see that just I'm watching the chat, and somebody said permadeath is stupid, and then somebody said, well, what about something like DayZ? And DayZ's permadeath system, it kind of works. And then, of course, the Star Citizen one, which somebody said I was thinking about that instead. But even so, those are new games that you would think that, newer games, they've just gotten away with the permadeath, but they have a little bit of coolness to them. I mean, when you're in DayZ and you're getting chased down by these zombies, and all of a sudden somebody shoots you in the head and you've lost everything, it's like this gut-wrenching feeling that you're like, damn. And then you do everything you can to get back to that spot to try to get your stuff off the ground. And it's that part of it is really cool, but that's of course a survival game, and this is an MMO, so I'm not saying that would necessarily work 100% in this game. But if they had some sort of penalty like that, I don't know how it could really work, but
I think permadeath's one of those things. It's brilliant. It can be brilliant, but the whole game needs to be built around it. That needs to be, that's like a day one decision. This game is going to be a permadeath game, and then everything else has to be built on top. If you try and shoehorn it in to more classic kind of design elements that we're used to in MMOs, it's not going to work. But I mean, like you say in DayZ, though, it's brilliant. Just the feeling of when you go around a corner and you see another player crouched down, another player that's on the floor, just that sort of feeling.
You're like, I'll kill him and take everybody's loot from both of those guys. Yeah, that's a great feeling.
Yeah, things like that sense of danger. It's why I like open world PvP a lot. That sort of sense of danger and excitement is incredibly difficult to replicate within a game. If it's focused on PvE, it doesn't make sense. Because in PvE, every encounter sort of has to be winnable. I think it'd be a bit of a cheap design if they made a boss that would always kill you, because it's just cheap. I don't think people would stand for it. But in PvP, sometimes you get into a situation where you've just got no chance of winning, and I think that's when death becomes interesting. When you really are in a situation where you could die at any moment, rather than in. But then with the AI systems that they're talking about, maybe it could be the case in PvE that we end up in situations that are unwinnable for us.
Yeah.
So there's a little ramble. What were we talking about? Death penalties.
That's fine. Okay, so what's the new question?
That was your building style within Landmark, right?
Right. So they're going to say, which style do you prefer? And the reason they're asking this is because they're going to have both a sci-fi feel to the game and also a fantasy feel to the game. And who's winning right now, Locke? You have the score.
Well, the question says, what genre are you interested in building? Fantasy is by far and away out in the lead at the moment, because I think it's sort of seeded with EverQuest fans. So obviously, we were talking about it before the show. A lot of is people interested in a fantasy game. Of course, they're going to be interested in fantasy, but also there's other things in there. I don't even remember the other options. Actually, sci-fi was in there. Historical stuff was in there as well. And I think it's just something that I think they're trying to let people know that it's like everything. Within reason, everything is sort of fair game. You don't have to go in there and build fantasy related stuff if you don't want to. You can build whatever you want in whatever genre. You can make up your own genre completely. I'm hoping that people will. I'm hoping sometime next year I'll be able, to go into an instance that someone's built of an entirely, their own kind of artistic vision, but
children's book horror film.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Just like anything, I'm sure people will do.
There's going to be zombie
there'll be
something.
Like a Rise of Cthulhu thing, and there'll be steampunk stuff and.
Yeah, steampunk I could see for sure. And then this actually plays into an article I just read that was on Reddit, and it was lambasted pretty quickly, but somebody got into the whole thing that Georgeson said that this has a potential to be a sort of like a birthplace of all these new various MMOs, because they're going to allow us to build in EverQuest Next, Landmark, of course, but also into EverQuest Next, kind of our own themes, and you could potentially, and we don't know anything about this yet, but you could potentially have your own server that is running a Star Trek theme, or a theme that is like, like some kind of zombie horror genre, where you could go and change the character skins, the monster skins. You could change the way the AI is working, of course, because you're using Storybricks, and once you learn how you put Storybricks together, you could build your own kind of really cool MMO that's completely built by you as a player. Go ahead, Trendy.
Willy Wonka's chocolate room.
Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, or the Oompa Loompas and everything attacking you. I mean, you could go nuts. You literally could just go crazy. So you could take any of your old games that you want to see turned, like somebody was saying, Bard's Tale, all these kind of cool games that you'd like to see done in a different way. You could do it yourself inside this.
I think he was actually addressing Bard's Tale, not speaking of the game
But Bard's Tale, you could do that over again.
Well, yeah, you could.
Yeah. What if you wanted to take and redo Minecraft in Landmark with much better voxels and pixels?
I think they've already done that. It's called Landmark.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand this is not something that's going to happen tomorrow or anything like that. Just that this was an idea, sort of brainstorming thing that somebody was coming up with, because there's something Georgeson said that it's going to be kind of open for everybody to interpret and build how they want. So it doesn't necessarily have to fit the fantasy genre, but that's most of us why we're here. But there could be some people that want to take it a little bit to maybe to Victorian age or Tolkien. Yeah. Exactly. I'm gonna. One of the first things I'm gonna build is a Hobbit house. I want to build something from the Shire, or maybe make the whole Shire. So
I think of everything that's happening. The thing that I'm most excited about is just the games that people come up with within the game of Landmark, which we know is going to happen. Think about people that have been running D&D campaigns for 30 years. Those people that have just got incredible stories to tell with such rich characters and informed by those random things that happen during the game. They can put that into that MMO system, and we can all go and play it. And like you said, skinning characters, player studios, creating new characters, new mobs, new gear and skins for everyone. That then is all available to SOE to use, and they can look at things that people are doing within Landmark that are popular, and then lift those and create them as features in EverQuest Next, and you just end up with this feedback loop of just going round and around. And to me, it's incredibly exciting, the potential that we have. Dave Georgeson said when he said about people creating MMOs, it's a bit of a people haven't really latched onto the idea yet, because it's a bit kind of, we'll believe it when we see it. But honestly, the potential that exists within Landmark, to me, is phenomenal.
Everybody's looking at Lock.
Everybody's looking at me.
No, Omid just said something that...
Those of you that are new to the show.
Omid just said something that's really, really cool, because I didn't even think about this. Somebody could take and redo EverQuest 1. Completely from scratch, all the original EverQuest
people
lore.
Will do that as well.
Yeah.
I reckon that'll be the first thing that happens.
Yes.
All those
Swords,
people that are clamoring for EverQuest 3.
Swords just said, someone will have to make Neriac so I can get lost in it. So yeah, exactly. Completely difficult, completely get lost, and I think somebody's going to go ahead and just do this anyway, because a perfect example. There's a lot of people all huffy and puffy saying that this should be EverQuest 3, right? And there's a whole group out there that said they should be developing time to do this. Well, if you guys are that enthusiastic about that new EverQuest 3, then just take one of the Landmark servers and turn it into your EverQuest 3 server, and there you go. Now you've got what you want. So very cool.
I'll go. I'll check that out.
Right.
Definitely.
And we can log in.
I've never even played EverQuest, but I bet it'd be brilliant.
You probably would. But it would be cool to and you can log into other servers, so you can try out the sci-fi server, you can jump over to the other servers, and Omid was saying that a lot of times they're just hoping that people are just going to kind of coagulate into the groups that they kind of want to be around. Like, this server is now known as kind of a sci-fi server, so everything on there is really sci-fi related, and this server's more of like a Bram Stoker's Dracula kind of Victorian England style server, and that's where everything is set up like that there. And you could go to these different servers and check them out.
Every time you log in, it says, "Hello, your friend."
Thank you. Welcome to my server. All right, so very cool. Another topic we talked on forever. We're already up to an hour. Okay.
Wow.
Next topic, building in Landmark. So what we're going to talk about now is the tools that they showed in the live stream.
Yay.
Nobody cares about those.
Nobody cares about these, even though that's what the whole show is about.
Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah. The tools looked very awesome. I'm not a 3D modeler, and I could tell by just looking at that I could figure out how to manipulate things three-dimensionally in this game. So that part was cool. What do you guys think about the overall, the tool set and all that? I'm going to show some in the background while you guys are talking.
I mean, I always knew we were going to be able to stack voxels. Like, I thought that was going to be pretty much it. You got to stack voxels, maybe a bit of a tilt. But then when we saw the tools, you can actually change pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoa, especially with the line tool as well. Like, that blew my mind. When I saw they could actually make a complete, perfectly smooth slope, I was like, whoa, that's really cool. I love that so much. And to me, that's easily the highlight, just having that sloping tool. And the heal tool as well, that was cool. You can just reset, like, let's say you made a really crappy house, you're like, I hate that, I don't want that anymore. You just wipe it all. You don't have to do anything to the server, you just wipe it in an instant. Which can be a problem if you have someone come on that you don't like.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll be able to touch your stuff, but what he's talking about with the heal tool is, say you dig a big hole and you build this massive house with a basement and everything, and you go, oh, this is crap. You can just literally take the tool and erase the land, and it puts it right back to the way the server had it from when you first picked up the land. So, are you guys, Tordane or Locke, do either one of you guys play Minecraft much? No, Trendane?
Oh yeah, right. I dig on Minecraft. Me and the lady do play it.
So when you saw some of this stuff, it seemed very Minecraft-esque, but more powerful, like a lot more powerful than what you could do in Minecraft.
I honestly think comparing it to Landmark almost sells it short in a way. I mean, there's Minecraft creative mode, but that's really, it's like Lego on your computer. You're really just putting things on top of each other. Whereas, the tools that you have and the tools that we're going to have in Landmark are, for me, they're just already far beyond what is possible within Landmark. Just in what's going to be possible. What's going to be possible to build, like in Minecraft, you can't even make a sphere. You can't have arbitrary angles of anything. And what's happening on the video right now, just being able to template something and just keep placing it, just makes everything so quick to build as well. You see these huge mega builds in Minecraft that people spend months and months and months doing. The amount of time that's going to be cut down for those people that already make incredible things with those tools. Like, the mind boggles just even trying to comprehend what they're going to be able to do with these tools. And it's such an intuitive interface as well. I know, Domo, you were saying you can just see how it works, and the fact that it's so intuitive and user friendly makes me really excited for the future as well. When they start adding in, different developer style tools, when they start putting in story bricks type stuff and all of that, hopefully the interfaces for that will be just as intuitive for us to create our own questing experiences for people, or gameplay modes. It's very exciting. For
those who are not familiar with Storybricks, it's basically you take and build a storyline within a character's own AI. So what I mean is you can tell it that this person has this kind of likes and wants and needs, and they'll then interact with the environment and the players by what their likes and wants and needs are. So that on top of what that in itself is an amazing thing. I mean, even if you weren't an MMO developer, you didn't want to do anything with MMOs, but you wanted to make, just say you wanted to make a butler at your house, and the butler, or in England you call him a valet, the guy is just there and he answers the door for you. Like, you could build an NPC to do that for you in Landmark without too much effort. Or you wanted somebody to maybe sell your wares for you. You could make an NPC that just is your store, and you're out crafting, and this guy sits back at your house and sells stuff. What's your thoughts here, Trendane?
Well, actually, it was something that Soil D mentioned in the chat just a few minutes ago. Said that I wanted to see how water works, and that's actually one of the things, especially this part right now that's being built with the angles on the side of the tower and whatnot. Part of me was, and it may not be in there, but I was really hoping that they could put like a water voxel on top of it and let it go, and we could see how it would flow down those different facets and whatnot. Like I said, that functionality may not even be in there just yet.
Right. Early days.
Right. But I would have loved to have seen that, or just drop one on the ground and see how it flows. Because I'm still convinced that at some point, if they have the weather system we're hoping for, that the rain voxels are going to form a flash flood voxel that is going to wipe out a town. I just know it's going to happen.
That's going to be great.
It will be incredibly cool.
Really cool.
Not that I'm being a dick about it, anybody who lives in that town, Omid, but
could be any town,
could be.
No, it's the water thing. I have seen some voxel simulations for water on YouTube, and it's beautiful. It looks just gorgeous the way it flows, and I'm hoping that they're using the same sort of engine techniques in this game too. But yeah, you can set yourself up with a really nice idyllic lake and a nice little house next to the lake, and dig out the lake yourself, and then just fill it up with water. Maybe have a waterfall flowing into it. It could make some beautiful scenery with this game. Just like that in itself, without even doing anything else, without it being an MMO, without it being anything else. It's just a nice building game that you could get into and do all this.
And Smooth Love's comment of like underwater makes me think that at some point you could like dive down into a lake and dig out deep enough that you could then dig upwards again and create like a little air pocket cave that you could climb into, hollow that out, and nobody would be able to see that your house, you had to enter it from underwater. I think that
or somebody was saying the glass that I was talking about earlier, you can make a glass dome underwater and then make some sort of like Atlantis type of city underwater. Or where Jar Jar Binks comes from, that kind of thing.
No.
That's like more along the lines of Rapture, but whatever.
Yeah, Rapture. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, cool. All right, so yeah, that's great. That's pretty much covers all of our topics that we wanted to talk about tonight. Let's go ahead and move on into our question and answer time. And then let's see, Q&A time.
What?
Q&A time.
What?
All
right, so Tobran, you want to be our Q&A question reader tonight?
Okay. Scroll all the way up. If it goes far enough up. Okay. First of all, Coin and Cleavage asks, where the heck is Zaphos? I miss Zaphos.
Oh, we did that earlier.
Yeah.
Zaphos, he's got the goat legs and the cow breasts.
Jedi Master Burst asks, what founder packs did we get?
Oh. I got the Trailblazer.
You get it as well?
Blazing Trails and Racing Snails.
Well, I got it as well, so it's just trending without one.
Okay, listen, everybody. We're going to start a fundraising right now.
No, we're not.
We're going to raise money. We're going to raise money for Trendane's Trailblazer pack. I don't know how we're going to do it. We're going to start a Kickstarter.
No.
Sounds like a char.
Yeah.
We're
going to get it for him.
I do that a lot.
Hey, Omid, you said that or maybe it wasn't you. Maybe it was Georgeson said that they do want to have abilities for people to gift these packs. So let us know when we can gift these packs. We're going to get a gift for Trendane.
It's so easy to get those two confused, Georgeson and Omid.
They look just so much alike.
I forgot to mention it earlier when they were doing the Roundtable. One of my favorite parts was right at the beginning before they actually started, and you could see Dave wiggling his fingers under the table.
Jazz hands.
Yeah, you can tell that they're geeks like us.
Yeah, and it was nice to see. It was nice to see Colette.
Yeah, this is nice to see Colette. I haven't seen her too much, so that was good. And she handled the boys well.
She's got to be busy. I mean, now the forums have launched and everything.
We need to get her some Wonder Woman braces, so every now and again she just bang pops them both and shuts them up.
Wonder Woman. All right, carry on.
Okay, I'm probably gonna murder this person's name, but Valorine. Do you think ice blocks will melt in the desert?
Ooh.
I'm gonna say yes, just straight off the bat.
I would too, but I don't know. I haven't seen anything that has interactive ability yet. Like, I've seen them put like lava in like a pit, but I didn't see it like melting the rock around it or anything like that. I mean, I don't know if that's built into it yet. Have we heard anything about that yet?
Don't believe we have.
Wasn't that in Dave's Forge? That was basically just a lava texture, or were those actually coals instead of lava?
Maybe, but I don't think it's. And you can be able to carry buckets of lava.
Material you interact it with.
Like if you put it on wood, burst into flames. I don't know. I think that would be really epic, but
I'm going to be controversial and say I actually hope not.
You want it to be more for just skin
up like a big ice palace in the desert.
Well, yeah, or at least to be able
to
use it. To be able to use it as a material within a build, I think having that option, it increases the amount of stuff that is possible. Whereas if you just have it so you can't use ice in a desert, to me that takes a big chunk of possibility out of the game.
Here's what Locke wants. He wants an ice castle in the desert with lava fountains flowing over the sides of the castle.
I want an ice statue of Omid in the desert with lava coming out of its eyes and just burning all the people in the town around it.
Oh, God.
Ice
ice.
Yes. Ice in the desert is called water. Yes. Thanks, Raz. Okay. Next question.
Okay, from Grimward. If Landmark is free to play, do you think people will make 50 accounts just to get 50 plots?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've read that. Several people are already talking about doing that exact thing. They're going to get 100 plots and get them all together so they can own like half the continent or something.
They'll have measurements against that, surely.
You won't be able to, you won't be right up hard against somebody. Like, your plot is not going to touch somebody else's that close, so they can't build right up against you. There's supposed to be a good amount of distance between each one. What do you think there, Trendane?
No, it's just not touching.
Oh, not touching. Not touching.
I think I responded to something about this on the forum. People were talking about it, and all I could think was, how does that affect me? If someone did want to do that, if someone did want to make 50 accounts and put 50 plots together, does that affect what I'm doing? Does
each one have to have a unique email address assigned to it?
Or does it stop me doing anything?
Well, I suppose it would. If you've got to still go out and explore and find all these materials, some you might not find on your plot. You might have to move around a bit. And then if someone's got like half the continent covered just for themselves, you're not going to be able to dig there at all unless you specifically ask this person. It's going
to be a land grab. It's going to be like back in the old Wild West when they just take off and whatever you see you can own, just expand.
I mean, I don't know. I've heard them say so many times, if you don't like where you are, you can just pick up and move.
Yeah, they did say that.
And it seems like all the worlds are going to be sort of procedurally generated, and it sounds like there's going to be a lot of space. It's an MMO. It's not built for 100 people. It's not like we're going to run out and it'll be like the suburbs. It's not like we've all got a little 10 by 10 plot. We're all on top of each other. I just think that's my thing. It's like, how does it affect what I do? Like, let's say I was on a continent where someone had done that and they'd taken half of the continent. Like, surely that space would have just been taken by other players anyway. So how does it affect me? The fact that it's just one person that's done that.
Might not be more than one though. It might be like 50 people with 50 accounts from 50 plots. That's going to be a lot of space.
That produces Shakespeare. No, wait, that's monkeys.
That's monkeys, yeah. Yeah, and Coin Cleavage had a good point, is they can just procedurally generate a new part. Like, so say somebody does take the time to make 100 counts with 100 different email addresses just so they could have 100 different plots all linked together. So what? Then you just walk through their land or whatever, go around it.
I've worked it out.
What's that?
This is how it'll affect my life. I'll sit here and do this.
His character will sit there and just clap at the guy's border for an hour.
I think at some point...
I don't care, I got the Trailblazer pack I paid to win already.
Yeah, you won.
They can't win with all their free accounts I paid. I should win. Have them all shut down. Ban them.
See ya, Shaylin. Sorry, Shaylin had to go. See ya.
I mean, eventually, I think if you walk far enough, you will bump into a SimCity server, and then everything crashes. So,
what SimCity? I mean, the amount of land that's in SimCity is such a tiny, minuscule amount compared to what's going to be in EverQuest Next Landmark. Because it's like a plot like this big in SimCity.
So for this one factor, I'm going to beg everyone at Sony, please, for the love of insert deity's name here, test your shit before you go live. Please.
Well, that's what we're doing. We're testing it for them. They got a huge pool now of testers, much bigger than your normal department that you would have. I mean, how many people worked at EA where you worked, Trendane?
To deal with that?
Yeah, that were just testers. That's all they did was test.
That was at Maxis. That was
okay.
Like 50 miles away from where I was working. The section that I was in, there were 8 of us.
Okay.
And when all that shit went down and everything crashed, it was our job to deal with it.
Nice. So you got the fingers pointed at you. All 8 of you.
Yeah.
Like 8 people could fix that. Yeah.
Much overtime. Yeah.
Much gnashing of teeth for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we're talking about 800,000 people, maybe 80,000 people or more are probably going to be doing this testing for Sony. So that's great. You know, we're all testing it together.
Looking at chat, I think it's important to reiterate. You know, it is. I know Trendane said it earlier, but it is. We are going to be testing it. It will break. There will be things that won't work. It'll crash, and when you load back in, you know, it won't have saved something that you'd done. You know, we can expect rollbacks and stuff. So
here's what they need to do.
It's not the game.
Right. But here's what they need to do to make it the game. Okay. Because there is no incentive for a beta tester that is witnessing a bug to do anything other than just skip over it. I fell through the world over there, so I'm just going to walk this way next time. Because I'm being inconvenienced right now because I want to play. So make it where they have achievements. Like, have an achievement system for beta testers that if they find bugs that are verified bugs, they get like some kind of little award. And if the more they find, then they could unlock higher levels of that award. Like...
Before they do that, they need to go to my YouTube channel and watch my L2QA series so that they know what the hell they're looking for.
Actually, everybody, seriously, truly, if you really want to get into that, Trendane has a great series talking about how to become a beta tester or learn a Q&A tester at a company like EA or something like that. And it's 3 videos, 4 videos?
3.
3. And they talk how to do that. And after I was done with it, I was like, I want to go do that myself, you know? No. But anyway, the fact is I think if Sony did pull in some kind of thing like that it might be an incentive for players to then try to find bugs. Like, oh, look, you know, that tree's kind of off the ground a little bit over there. What's up with that? It's floating in the air, so let me report that bug. And then if enough of them get found, then you, or even if you find one, you get an achievement, beta bug test or bug squasher or something that you can show off as an achievement. I think that would be great.
You could call it swatter, but I think that means something different in England than it does.
I don't know.
You went to school SWAT, weren't you? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Why did it take you guys so long to figure that out? Never mind.
Next I'm not question. Going there. Yes, next question.
Next question. Metallica for Life 77 asks, for someone not heavy into MMOs who's only played some Swarter, what does EverQuest Next offer that's different to other MMOs?
Oh, sir, if you've only played the Old Republic.
You poor bastard.
Poor. Sad bastard. All right, real quick before we answer that, is everybody, did the sound just start crackling for everybody? Go ahead and speak, you guys.
That was the sound of my heart breaking.
Oh. No, the reason I'm saying that is the last time I did this stream, the other day, we did our Star Citizen stream, and right when my screen flashed black, it started crackling across the board. Sound is fine? Sound went wonky? That's just me. Okay, cool. No, it's fine. I don't hear any crackling, but the people, the viewers, were complaining about it last time. Okay, go ahead. Continue on.
What were we talking about?
About how yes, he's only played SWTOR. Now, actually, Now Star Wars: The Old Republic had some really groundbreaking, innovative things to it but they never came through with them. Like, they never fully fleshed them out. They were sort of like, oh, this is great. And for one of the things was, you were supposed to be able to fly your ship that you earned through the quest system, or you finished. What?
Omid's question: how is your name Ratonga for life, and you've only ever played SWTOR? Sorry,
I missed that. Sorry about that. Anyway, the ships that you earn, you're supposed to be able to fly them and do like missions in space. Shoot down other craft and everything like that. They just now, I think last week, released that add-on to where you can now fly your ship in space and do space battles. That's really bad that 3 years after the game comes out that it's just now getting space battles. So that's why I think personally that SWTOR just didn't kind of live up to the hype that it had done. And BioWare does a pretty good job with stories. The story was beautiful. I loved all the characters' stories were great. Other than that, it fell on its face. So what do you guys think?
Oh God, for me, Star Wars was just an unmitigated disaster of MMO design. It was basically, they took World of Warcraft and put a Star Wars skin on it. It was badly optimized, and it was, the netcode was terrible.
Auction house.
It's like to the point where I had a Jedi Guardian, and my rotation, my tanking rotation, was exactly the same as my prop warrior from World of Warcraft, with the same abilities, with the same cooldowns. I just had a lightsaber, and that was it. And I had to be a human, which annoyed the hell out. I had to be human shaped, which annoyed the hell out of me as well.
Right.
But the thing with Star Wars, the really big innovation that Star Wars did, that they spent BioWare spent an absolute ton of money on, and it's what they made their name on with their single-player RPGs, was this whole single-player storyline that they put through the game, and it was the thing that they were really, really proud of, and that is the exact opposite of what you should be focusing on when you make an MMO. The single-player storyline is irrelevant. It does not matter. Okay, it's an enjoyable experience, but once people have done it,
then they
feel like they've finished, then there's nothing left for them. It doesn't. That leveling experience is not the reason that people play MMOs, and separating people in that way constantly, so you just feel like you're alone throughout this whole journey. Even if you're playing with other people, there's still moments where you just have to go off by. You have to kind of go, oh my story's here, so I'm just going to go in here, and then the person that you've met and done a couple of mission quests with just goes, oh, okay, I'll go and do this thing then, and then you part ways. So it's just this thing that they've put all this time and effort and energy into, is separating players in their massively multiplayer game. It's just
what's wrong with that?
Does not compute. Oh God.
Okay, so that's another game altogether. That's SWTOR. Now, what was the other one he said as an example that he's played?
He didn't.
No, that was it.
That was it. Okay, that's all he's played was SWTOR. Okay, so EverQuest has a very rich, long history. Like, it was the very first three-dimensional MMO that you could play. There were other ones before it. There was Meridian 59, Ultima Online, which was isometric, but it wasn't three-dimensional. And EverQuest was the very first game that took you into a 3D world. Now, in the beginning, it was really this tiny little square. That's all you saw was 3D, and everything else was just buttons. But then eventually they opened up the UI and all that. But it is where the whole MMO genre started. So EverQuest Next is just another iteration of the story. We're moving ahead. We're changing the lore a little bit. Not we. They're changing the lore a little bit, kind of doing a reboot on the lore. And it's all kind of merging together in sort of a different way. But if you want to play sort of the original MMO type of game, then that's what EverQuest Next is going to be. But of course with modern updated graphics and the whole voxels and all that stuff.
And also, I think because it's going to be more of a sandbox experience than a lot of MMOs are at the moment, I think it's definitely got that going for it.
He might not know what sandbox means because you just mentioned it, and he said he's only played SWTOR, which was a theme park game. So, what can you explain the difference between a theme park and sandbox?
Sandbox is where cats go poop.
As always, Trendane with the excellent commentary. So what is a sandbox? What's a sandbox game?
God, am I talking here? Sandbox game. In a theme park MMO, you level, you go through the story, you get to max level, and then once you're there, there's kind of there's a track that you follow. There's certain things. There's a raid, and you progress through the raid to the story to defeat the final boss of the current expansion or whatever. And that's what you do. There's a standard progression, and you're always moving in the same direction, and you're working towards the same end goal as everyone else. Whereas in a sandbox game, the idea is you kind of you're expected to pick your own path a lot more. Now, as part of the development for that, it means that the goals have to be a lot more spread out. If you look at a game like EVE Online, you go in and it doesn't really direct you to do anything specifically, but there's just a ton of stuff that is possible and is like a long-term goal for you to stretch for. So whereas a theme park is a more kind of directed experience, and you're always kind of showing the path and you're following the story and going along, a sandbox is much more, there's a lot more onus on you as a player to choose what you want to do and then go out and make that happen. And they both can be great, but they're fundamentally different, and I think they appeal to different people. Like if it's very sandboxy, I imagine the start of EQN, the Reddit is going to be plagued with people going, "There's nothing to do.
I can't figure out where to go next." Yeah.
Where's the raid? What's end game?
How mindful fish?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for that. All right. So that's the difference. So this is going to be a sandbox game, and it's going to be kind of wide open. I just started playing a new sandbox game tonight. X Rebirth, which is pretty cool so far, and it doesn't have. What's that?
I'd call it a stream for that. It looks really good.
Yeah, it looks pretty, very pretty looking game. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, because actually we have like 50 questions now, and we're taking like 20 minutes per question, so we probably should move it along.
So it'll take 3 days to upload this video later. Yeah. Sorry, Teddy.
Bartail Delight asks, there's of course some sort of question of how the plots will be done. How do you think they'll manage them? Do you think they'll have modules similar to Second Life? So that's in regards to the plots.
Yeah. I didn't play Second Life more than I walked around it a little bit once, and that was about it. I didn't play it a lot.
I did.
You did?
I didn't build anything, but I was there.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what are your thoughts with Second Life compared to EverQuest Next?
Well, Landmark. I haven't really played Landmark yet, so.
Well, what you can see from it. Yeah.
And I also haven't been on Second Life recently. It's gotten, from what I understand, a lot better. The models, I think that's one of the biggest differences, is that with Second Life you can not only build the environment, the terrain, and everything else, but you can also build the characters. You can build virtually anything. I mean, if you want to build an entirely new race, I mean, we've got, if you go over to the furries section of Second Life, which is considerable, it's huge, and they are building, you used to have these very primitive, like werewolf, geometries and stuff, and they've gone through to the point where they're building dragons that are the size of houses that, just you can log in and that's your avatar, and you walk around and you fly around, you do whatever you want to. They've built these bizarre griffins that are a combination of a peregrine falcon and a snow leopard, and just these really fascinating variations on a theme. You have that level of freedom in Second Life to build your character to look the way you want to. I mean, Locke. You said, one of the things that one of the problems, you didn't want to be human shaped. In Second Life, you don't have to. You can make yourself whatever the hell you want to be, and I mean, you are only limited by what you can imagine and what you can build. With what is this thing we're talking about? EverQuest. Which of us is sick? No, it's just there's a history of that memory disease.
Alzheimer's.
Yes, there's a history of that, and it's always so ironic when I can't remember the name of that. Anyway, there's with EverQuest, you're not going to be able to, just completely alter your character. You're going to be a Karen, you're going to be a dark elf, you're going to be, whatever. I will be a Karen. Oh yes. But that's what you're limited to. You can't make a Karen tar, like a centaur, but it's entirely Karen.
In Second Life, though, but you can't knock buildings down, or can you build?
You probably could.
Oh, really? Okay.
If it's designed
but it's not
to function that way.
It's not an MMO. It's more of a social place.
Largely, yeah. But I mean, once you build like a club or something, like there's a whole section that's devoted to vampires, and it's away from the furs because they're like, those people are sick. Bite me. It's whatever. You're dressed like a slut. No wonder all these vampires want you. Anyway, again, we're going to take another 20 minutes on this question. Once you've built it the way you want to, there will be things called pose balls, and you can like go up to a pose ball and you can say, okay, activate the animations, or what is the list of animations that are connected to this pose ball. And if one of them is, tail sweep, demolish building, then you will sweep your tail and demolish the building if it's been designed to do that.
This brings up a good point. Second Life was the very first virtual world that had a sale of $1 million or something like that for an item inside, or was it an island, like an island inside the game?
Yeah, I believe so.
And so that begs the question that in EverQuest Next Landmark, at least, do you guys think that there's a potential to make some really good money, like with some kind of virtual whatever you build? You build
There's
Sauron's
potential.
tower. Or?
I think, but I don't think it will ever go as high as $1 million. It might. I could be entirely wrong about this, but I don't think. I mean, $1 million has got to have a lot of dedication, like a lot. If everyone can open up and just find the piece of land they want, and they can claim it for themselves, unless someone finds
What
some
if
filled with diamonds.
What if there's this really rare island off the coast that only that one guy with 100 accounts logged in and got that island? He owns that island. But I guess it's a little different in this game, because if you wanted an island bad enough, you could just literally dig a hole around an area and fill it with water, and now you have an island. If you had the time and inclination to do that, so it's not exactly the same.
And I mean, you want to talk about somebody with the dedication to spend the time to make. I mean, look at the guy that made that one mod for Skyrim. That was that entire island with all of those quests on it. And if he could do that, you could get a team of people that they could make some amazing stuff in EverQuest Next.
Yep.
And yeah, you could probably sell it for $1 million if you got it, to the level of like what that guy did by himself.
It's pretty neat.
True, I suppose.
All right, let's get on to the next one.
Oh yeah, it's me reading out.
Yeah,
questions.
Yeah. You're our question.
So why is everyone looking at me? Crap, where was I? Okay, Armbuck says, do you think we'll be able to build villages in EverQuest Next Landmark? If we can do that, do you think we'll be able to populate it with NPCs like bakers, smiths, guards, etc.? Give your thoughts.
Yes.
Yes. I hope so as well.
Next question.
The
quick ones are always so nice.
Yes, but it's actually like that. You will be able to do that. The devs have already said you will be able to make your own NPCs. So yes.
I think it'll go a lot further than that as well.
Probably. I'm gonna murder this person's name, but Arthuridutur.
Yes, perfect.
Really?
No. I don't know, honestly.
I have no idea.
Open world PvP on EverQuest Next, yes or no? For me, absolute yes.
No.
But those guys, different story.
Yeah, we're one of those guys. I say no.
Oh, we're split down the middle. Oh god.
Yeah.
What's the question again?
Open world PvP. Like we were talking about DayZ, yes, it's exciting and the whole thrill of the kill is there. But if I'm just sitting there crafting a piece of bread, I'm sitting there
Some guy just comes up and says, you know what, that's
die!
Backstab, you're dead, and you've lost your bread.
Do you remember in Monty Python the Holy Grail, he just runs through and just randomly starts stabbing people? It's like just like charging through, like they're having a wedding, and he just goes and kills everybody. Lancelot's on the rampage. So I mean, yes, I think it's okay to have a world PvP, but if you just want to be left alone and have your little wedding and have people dancing around and singing, then
Well, maybe you could have like a mode where you can turn it on and off.
Well, I guess then,
But then,
yeah.
what's the incentive to have it on?
Right, you just want to be left alone.
It's a disadvantage to have it on, so no one will have it on.
Yeah.
That's the problem with
Maybe
that.
you get like
That's why it kind of
10% increase.
died
in
off.
experience.
A lot of times when we're seeing conversations like this on the forums and whatnot, or on YouTube or what have you, a lot of times people are like, and I see this a lot with Star Citizen as well, and for me it's the same argument on both games, is that, while I don't want to partake in PvP, I'm not going to tell you can't have it.
Yeah, exactly.
And for me, that's the big difference. Is a lot of the guys who are saying, there has to be PvP, and if you don't like it, go play something else. It's like, see, I'm not telling you can't play the game just because we don't like the same things. Mm-hmm. You are the one being a dick and telling me that it's just.
See, I have an idea for this. If anyone's interested,
go ahead.
Yes, sir.
I did a video on this a while ago where I said, why not? I don't think servers should be separated. I don't think you should have PvP servers and PvE servers. I don't think that's good for the game. I think you want to get as many different types of players together as possible. But at the same time, I don't think it should be free for all. Absolutely not. It's not that type of game. I don't think that it should just be like full open world, like kill anyone anywhere. I don't think it's that type of game. I think the best way to go about it would be to have an area of the world which was open world PvP, and within that it had items or materials that were useful to PvE players, because then you get the situation where the PvPers get to go in and fight, and there's a real reason and there's a real cause for them to do that, because there's something very valuable within that area that the PvE players want. And then maybe you could switch that around as well and say
suck at PvP.
What?
Like,
exactly.
There will be players who just like
it gives us people to just roll over all the time, but at the same time,
then they'll just get completely dominated.
But that's the thing, you're making PvP useful and relevant to PvE players who are the majority. So even if they don't want to PvP themselves, it still makes it an important part of the culture of the server. They'll want to have a strong PvP presence because they want the things that you get from doing that open world PvP.
Would that be the only place that these particular things are available?
I think it should be.
See, I can see them being available in outside of that area, but nowhere near to the volume that is available within that area. So that if you want to absolutely find some, yes, that's the easiest place to go to get it, and then yes, you have to deal with it. If you have no interest whatsoever in any kind of PvP, it should still be available outside of that area, just not in the amounts that you're going to find inside.
The difficulty is you would get into, because players optimize towards boredom, you would just get massively slanted servers where everyone was in one particular faction, so they didn't have to worry about fighting anyone in the open world area. That's that's the problem with that.
No, I was looking at this. I don't know what that is.
That's Omid's avatar from Google Plus.
Oh.
It's what I really want to see is I want to see a system of open world PvP that has a positive impact on the world.
Omid, is that from your show? I think that is. I think that's from Huntic. Is that what it is?
Yeah, he says it's a picture from him as a cartoon he was working on.
That's right. Okay,
sorry. But people said that Omid had to be in the middle, so that's why I put him there.
Oh, it's the meat in this sandwich. It's
where it belongs.
Next question.
Well, baby, there you go.
Toby.
Toby,
yes!
I
was just waiting. Where's
Wake
the
up.
Coming?
You had one job.
Oh, but screwed up so bad.
Who invited him? Hey?
I invited myself. Shrouded Hope asks, why do you think they've only released Enemy of My Enemy on mobile devices? Do I get to see an Android phone to enjoy the lore in the future? Do I need an Android phone? Sorry. So they're really asking, why is it only available on mobile?
It's not.
I think you can download it as a PDF, right?
It was released on mobile, but it's not only available.
Right, I read it as a PDF. I think.
I think it was an experiment of something interesting to do. It came shortly after they asked the question about how we liked lore to be delivered. So I think it's part of an interesting internal sort of ideas about delivering it in different ways and seeing how people react to it. But I mean, it's not.
Omid says
just
it
because
came in a
got
PDF.
released on one platform didn't mean like it was blocked from the rest of the internet.
Right. No.
Only available on PS4.
Yeah. No. Omid said it's a PDF, so if it's PDF, you can open up PDFs on your Android phone without a problem.
All right.
All right.
One of my first lectures at university, the professor said, "Beware of PDF files on the internet." I was the only one that laughed. In a room of 200 people. PDF files, I get it. Anyway, carry on.
Miss Jade 420 asks, EQ1 and EQ2 both had epic classes. Do y'all think EQ2 will have epic weapons? If so, how would they pull that off with multi-classing?
I think weapons, in my opinion, are going to just be more like skins, right?
Yeah, if they're trying to avoid the gear grind, then it would just be a special skin like they had in Guild Wars 2. I mean,
Right, because it's more of a, this is all kind of, there's no level in this game. This is all horizontal progression, and as far as gear goes, there isn't, I mean, maybe I could be wrong, but I don't think there's going to be that many plus 20 swords of Vorpal Death or something like that you're going to find.
I think from what I've seen, it looks like there's going to be a lot more customization available, and with the player studio, you're going to be able to buy gear and stuff, which means inherently there'll be less prestige attached to how your gear looks. Maybe there could be things like that change certain spell effects. That could be interesting, but I think they want people to look how they want to look. That seems to be the direction it's going in.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it'll be more things like achievements, or what color your fireballs are, things like that. That would be the differentiating factors. But who knows? They're probably still discussing it at the same time we are.
I guess Trendane has blue fireballs.
Hey.
Mm-hmm. Next question.
God, I'm gonna brutally murder this name again.
Go for it.
Margie says, do you think the Thunder Packs will get us any special bonuses in EverQuest Next as well? And do you think they should at this point?
They're going to have, this is my opinion, they're going to have more packs when EverQuest Next comes out.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
I think they're going to have a whole new pack system, because by then there'll be new people that are into the game or not in the game. We might have all moved on, who knows. I'm not saying we're going to, but there could be whole new groups, so they'll probably want to have a whole new set of packs. I think it should, the Trailblazer one probably should carry over, and the Explorer. What?
Squatter pack.
The one that
Just a squatter pack. You just go to somebody else's land and just sit there.
Oh, I missed that. Was it in text or something?
No, I just came up with it.
Oh, okay.
Copyright. 2013.
Yeah, me just says we're not planning it.
for different games.
Yeah, but he's not having anything transfer over.
Maybe the title.
The title, that's all I'm thinking. Maybe
Yeah.
the
Right.
That'd be
Guess that's
nice.
that.
next.
Nice.
Next, brutally murdering this name again.
Don't worry about it.
Bo asks, any news about adding animals into EQ Next Landmark so you could build a farm and zoo?
They think about farm and zoo, but I was thinking there's definitely going to be pets. With 40 classes, we're going to have some pets.
One of them will at least have a pet, I would assume.
But it's like cows and chickens and goats?
You're a beastmaster with a cow. I want to see that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Send in I've always thought, like in World of Warcraft, right? You see these giraffe on the plains. Why couldn't you have like a giraffe pet?
Oh,
Do you know what those things are like when you meet them in person?
I met one in person. They're kind of boring, actually.
That's because you never pissed him off.
Oh,
Okay,
no, I did not piss off a giraffe who's 18 feet taller than me.
Well,
Why would
they
you
have
piss off a giraffe?
they have this amazing karate kick ability. Their leg will move and your head just comes off your body. You have no clue. There's just
So do you have past experience with this?
How many times
well,
has your head
I've
been
just
knocked off by a giraffe?
I have only twice, but the funniest thing I ever saw was. Yes, Shadows. I'm getting diverted again. I was at the San Francisco Zoo doing a mascot appearance, and Joe Montana was there. He had his kid. His kid was holding a big sprig of leaves and stuff. Held the kid up, and the giraffe leans down. And this 4-foot long black tongue comes out and wraps around the thing, and the kid was. It was hysterical.
Now, somebody's asked a question that kind of relates to this. Will there be carryover bonuses?
Relates to giraffes eating.
Not to giraffes, but to the question. To the question at hand. I'm trying to get back on track. Sorry. Yeah. Whoa, Nelly. Will there be carryover bonuses for long-time account holders of EQ and EQ2? So, like they did with Guild Wars 2, how they had the Hall of Monuments. You guys think something like that, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But I'd like to see something similar to reward those players who've been here there, 10 years.
I'm sorry that question just jumped to the head of the line, but it was relating to the fact that we were just talking about, whether or not you could have these things carrying over from EverQuest.
Yeah.
Landmark.
I think it'd be nice. If they announced it way in advance, like they did for Guild Wars as well, it might get some people to jump into the original games, which is no bad thing. To maybe earn a couple of those rewards before the game launches. Yeah, it'd be nice.
All right, so we're going to have
why not? Why not? It's one of those things, isn't it? It doesn't affect, as long as it doesn't affect what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Why shouldn't they have something? Why shouldn't they have a title that says they're old school EverQuest players and they've been supporting it for ages, and why shouldn't they have a different skin for for whatever weapon they want, just to
say that I'm a supporter.
Thanks for sticking with us. Like, come on board, guys. Get on the new game. Get on EverQuest Next. This is what we're doing. At the same time, it gets a lot of people, like myself, that have become interested in the franchise. From the announcement of this game, I probably would go back and play a bit, maybe to collect a few things, see what's what before. I mean, I'll probably do it anyway, but it'd give me a nice little bonus for doing that.
All right. Next question, I guess.
Okay, from Top Geared asks, what special or unique props would you like to see added to the Landmark?
Oh, okay. So, just a real quick question. I didn't really talk about it when we were doing this building thing, but voxels are only so big. Like the smallest voxel you'll see here in a second is
Ted.
And Ted is only like there's Ted right there. Anyway, so Ted's really small, and so I was saying before that you'll be able to build carts in this game, and then like get a horse, and then you hook the horse up to the cart and all that. But I don't think that they're going to be allowing you to build such small stuff. So for that, you're going to be able to craft things, and they're calling them props. So the reason I'm bringing all this up is because you were just saying about the props, and some people might not know what we're talking about with props. Excuse me, I'm still getting over this cold. So the internet viruses.
Internet.
So the props, the cool props in this game, I would like to see. I want a Game of Thrones throne.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Would that be cool for your like big throne room you have in your castle?
Yeah.
A bit uncomfortable in winter.
Might be. It's all made of metal.
Yeah, because you stick to it.
That would be bad. So get a nice little lava fire in there. That's all.
In the throne.
Throne room. Make it nice and toasty. All right. What do you think there, Trendane? What would you like to see? No. What would you like to see?
Oh, for
a prop.
Special props. Freelancer? No, sorry, wrong game.
Yeah. You could probably almost build that.
Probably.
Out of voxels.
Build one out of wood. I would have to think about this for a really long time, so I'm not out.
Let's go to Tobran. What do you think?
I don't know. I just hope we'd have some sort of, things we would expect. I'm not really one for having something really ridiculously unique. Like, I'm not really one for that. I don't know how other people feel about that. But I'm more for the generic stuff, like, let's have kegs, let's have bear rugs, let's have a ram's head on the wall. I don't know, just all that stuff that sort of fits with the genre is what I really want.
You want taxidermy.
Of course, sci-fi stuff as well.
He wants taxidermy.
Yes, taxidermy would be nice.
Lots of different dead animals to mount.
Actually, that could work its way into the economy very well, because you could go to a lumber mill and get all the sawdust, and that's what you pack your taxidermy with. Yeah,
you could kill some rare dragon, bring it back, stuff it with sawdust, and then sell it. All taxidermied. Mm-hmm. All right, that's one of the professions. So Talk to your dev team. See if we get that put in the game.
Don't talk to them. Tell them to put it in.
Yes, we must have taxidermy. All right.
Or if you really want to show off a giraffe's head. Intimidate
big
anyone
black-
who walks through the door.
Long tongue.
We have a lever so that the giraffe's head comes down, and if you push it too far up, the giraffe and it just blows its head out. I think because of the blood pressure, but it's all whipped cream inside.
All right. So Petapod says and Omid says we'll get right on that. Okay. So I guess our taxidermy idea is shot right down.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Someone screenshot quick.
Yeah, screenshot. Taxidermy confirmed. Okay, go ahead, Locke. What was yours?
Oh God. Specific things.
Yeah, you'd like to see.
I can't really answer that, to be honest, because I think stuff that I'm going to build is all going to be quite small scale kind of things, just pissing about. I'm not planning on really putting anything on the player studio. You know what I'd really like to see props made is stuff that can be used in EverQuest Next, because that's working towards things, but also, you know, props that can be used. You know, what I'm really looking forward to in Landmark, which is seeing, you know, what players can come up with in terms of creating
I don't
games
think that
themselves. So props that support that.
I don't think players are going to be able to make them. I don't think players are going to be able to make props. I think.
Said that.
Yeah,
They said players will be able to make props.
Oh well, as far as crafting them,
they said they want it Landmark to have all the tools that they're using to make EverQuest Next. So, you know, we're gonna be able to build props and items and, you know, NPCs and things that I'm kind of thinking, you know, like the player studio for PlanetSide 2, or, you know, like the way people make items for Dota 2 and stuff, but integrated within the game. So you've got all the complicated back end, but through a kind of more user-friendly interface, in the same way that Landmark is, you know, it's complicated things happening, but with kind of streamlined, more intuitive tools than you'd normally get. So I'm assuming that that's going to carry over into. I mean, hopefully someone will be able to tell me in chat if I'm totally off base, but, you know, I'm assuming that's the way it's going to go. You know, Dave Georgeson said a few times this week that they want the players to have the tools that the development team are using to build EverQuest Next, which to me means, you know, we'll be building all kinds of things, not just buildings. But
I kind of think they can't, because props are more of like a 3D studio kind of thing, not necessarily like a voxel.
Well, so that's.
Well, yeah, but it's a computer program that you manipulate objects in a 3D environment, and that's what we're doing with.
I guess we'll have to see.
So you build it out of TEDs, and then you tell it to scale it down 75%. Or whatever, and, you know, there you go. You've got you just build it on a large scale and then tell it to shrink it down to whatever size.
Yeah, I guess you probably could. All right. Go ahead there, Mr. Tobran.
Phantom X asks, Trove announces a voxel-based world, WoW announces a possible procedurally generated content and player-made content. Does that hurry up or change anything SOE does? Are those features going to dominate for the next 5 or 10 years?
I think right now SOE is like on the forefront of something big here, and I think what they're doing is going to last quite a while. I could see this game starting a whole new trend, and those other games, while they're great, they don't have the level of detail that EverQuest Next does. I mean, I've played Cube World and I've played a few other voxel type games, and while they're cool, they don't necessarily have the same, because this isn't just a voxel game; it's also a regular 3D MMO with a rendered textured layer that goes on top of the voxels. So, what do you guys think? No answer?
I think it was inevitable that the industry was going to go this way after the success of Minecraft, and, you know, players being more and more demanding. And I think you know, I've heard that we're kind of getting to the point where graphical fidelity isn't really going to be taking any more big leaps anytime soon. You know, we've kind of got to that point where it's just not worth the investment anymore to do that. You know, big studios have started losing money on games because they're putting so much into these graphics, and then a game like Minecraft comes out of nowhere and just, you know, just proves that
256K
people aren't
graphics.
as interested. Yeah, exactly. The rise of like indie games and everything as well, I think has been a big part of that. Multi-platforming, I think, is a big part of it as well. But it's just, I think it was an inevitable product of the way that the industry's going, and I think it's an incredible field of possibilities that lays stretched before us, and we'll see all kinds of different ideas and innovations. I think mostly based around being able to create content quickly and cheaply. I think that's kind of seems to be the general thrust of the way everything's going at the moment, and I think that SOE have obviously really grabbed that and ran with it. And I think hopefully it'll really pay dividends for them later on down the line in EverQuest next, or even possibly if we want to talk about the wild speculation, perhaps later on we'll see a different type of landmark game being used to create a totally different game for SOE, but using the tools that they've already built for landmark, which then again cuts development costs for them and allows them to kind of pass that on through the free to play model that they've been championing as well. I could talk about this for hours, but I'm going to stop now.
I was going to say we got to stop because we have 12 minutes. We've got 12 minutes left to finish 40 questions. So let's go real quick, Tobran. Just start asking questions.
Yes, no, yes, bacon, stone.
Yeah, we're going to have to skip these. We got 12 minutes, and then we're going to be up to 2 hours, and we have to stop at 2 hours. So.
Okay, Snowman Wilkie asks, what type of economy do you expect to see for Landmark, since it said you can put resources up in the player studio?
Oh, it's going to be an open economy. It's going to be a lot like EVE.
Yeah. I think they'll make it as easy as possible for people to buy and sell to each other, because they want people to have access to the things that they want to build.
They're taking a cut every time, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the auction house or whatever will deal with coinage, but if you're dealing with players who want to trade, like I have 50 tons of stone, I need wool, they will have to trade themselves. You won't be able to use wool as currency on the thing. That would be my answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, next.
This question, Phantom X once again asks, what do you think about the build your own MMO comment? It seems to have passed over on most forums. Sounds amazing to me.
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand that.
What do you think?
Speak English.
I'm sorry. What do you think about the build your own MMO comment? It seems to have passed over on most forums. Sounds amazing to me.
Yes.
Same.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that Dave Georgeson summed it up best when he said, people hear something like that and it sounds preposterous, doesn't it? And I think Dave Georgeson said it's very much I'll believe it when I see it. I think that's how most people, because it's I mean, it doesn't make any sense from anything that we've seen before and the way that games work. Like how could I sit in here at my desk possibly be able to do that? And I think when people start seeing the tools that they're implementing, hopefully people will get a better idea of how that will be possible, and I think people will be very excited about that.
Yep. All right, go.
Next.
Okay, Top Gear asks, how solo friendly should EQN be? Solo to max tier, need to group to level reasonably fast?
I say very solo friendly.
Give the player every option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Lock?
Okay.
No, I guess we skip Lock. Okay.
Yeah, just skip me.
No, it's fine.
Seriously, we'll be here all night. I think people should be able to play by themselves if they want to be by themselves, but it's a multiplayer. There's an M and a G in there that's multiplayer game. Like the whole game should be focused around people playing together, but you should if you just want to be by yourself, then you should have things to do by yourself.
Yep.
Or you should go and play Unwritten. Never mind. Let's move on.
Move on.
There's so many single player games. Skyrim is brilliant. Build your own single player game in Landmark, and then you have to.
And then invite everybody over to play it. Toby, go.
Go. Okay, Salgor asks, which race from EQ lore would you like to enjoy to play that is yet to be announced?
Sharklock.
Ixar.
I'm playing a dwarf. I don't care.
I just want to say Ixar because I always.
What's happening.
But they've shown the dwarves. Ratonga? Yeah.
Yeah.
Owlbear.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I can't even remember what has been confirmed and what hasn't been yet. I mean, we've had
Dark elves, dwarves, and humans. Yeah, and Karen.
Is that all that's been
Orcs are
confirmed
as well, aren't they?
What's that?
Pretty sure half orcs are.
Yeah, I guess
So they got-
there's one or two pictures. Yeah.
I want to play a Karen.
Well, orcs as enemy mobs have, but have we had a picture of a half orc? Oh yeah,
Pretty sure
ogres.
we did.
That's another
Yeah,
one.
ogres. That'd be cool.
Okay.
Fippy Darkpaw. Okay, go.
Okay, Nergobert asks, what type of other liquids do you think will be in Landmark other than lava and water?
Wood.
Trendain.
Wood.
Small churches.
I'm waiting for a urine voxel
Yeah.
that I can tan, hides into leather.
Dragon piss.
No, that's gross.
Okay. Beer. Yeah, beer.
What's wrong with beer? Raz651 asks, do you think land will be the same procedurally generated again after a wipe or remain the same?
I think each server is a procedurally generated server, right? They said you can go to different servers and see different landscapes. Like the biomes will be the same. Like this is a snowy biome, this is a jungle biome, but
And each of them is going to change as people go through and modify them. So.
mm-hmm.
But if they were
It's an
wiped,
interesting question. Though.
I can't imagine why they would be wiped. Really, I mean, once after release, I can't
Yeah,
imagine.
I
Why
don't think they're gonna wipe them after release.
Anyway,
Alright, okay. Snillius328 asks, I really want to explore the life of consequence theme a bit more. In EQ1, if you killed a druid more than a couple of times, all the rangers and druids would hate you. Same we tried to keep with the Tunar faction. All the Tunar aligned rangers and druids would set out for raid. What are your thoughts on that? That's stuff.
Omid, you're evil.
Oh wow.
He has
Yeah.
a cruel sense of
That is a
humor.
very cruel
It's-
comment.
Wait a minute, you work for Sony and you had to wait till today.
Yeah.
that's the kind of shit that happens. We had. Never mind.
Oh man. I don't care. He's been playing Landmark for ages. He can wait for the station.
What was I gonna say? I forget now.
You were going to say next question.
Next question. Oh, did we answer that one?
No.
Okay. Good. I didn't think we did.
I think it would be very. I think it would be very, very interesting if they did react accordingly to whatever your
Oh, yeah,
reputation
factions.
is with that faction.
I want to see
I think that
factions.
would be very cool.
Yeah, definitely have to have factions. Okay, go.
Okay. Song Hunter asks, what about props that I've made through material based on trade skill?
What about them?
Yeah, what about them? They're nice.
I see no. I mean, I'm not getting the question really, but
Me neither.
I presume that.
I think it's
go ahead,
talking
Locke.
about having a crafting skill that you need to make certain props.
Okay.
Is that the question?
I
don't
could
know.
see that in EQN, but in Landmark, no.
No. Skip. Go.
They talked about having to find plans to build to make props yourself though.
Oh, yeah. They
You
did
need
say
to have
that.
the
So that's probably
blueprints
what
to-
that's coming under.
Yeah.
Final question. That was fast.
Oh, really? We got through? Okay, great.
Yeah,
Perfect
so-
timing.
Wildtail Delight asked, do you think voxels will have physics? If he creates a sphere voxel, will it roll down the hill and interact with other voxels?
Yes.
So far, no.
What?
Sorry.
I want to see it, but it might not be implemented yet. Because we never got shown a sphere of him on the stream, so...
Right, but they have the things in the sky. You can build in the sky. Like, I saw this one guy was building this huge thing just in the sky. So I don't know how physics are going to actually work in Landmark. Probably not as much as in EverQuest Next.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Hopefully it'll be in, but I'm kind of hoping both. Like you can choose whether something floats or, so all objects that you place just stay where you place them until you just select that
Trigger
thing
them.
to be affected
Yeah.
by physics.
Because
Yeah.
you would need, especially if you're building something that's going to go into EQ Next, you've got to test it with full physics if it's supposed to have it.
Mm-hmm.
How are you
Especially
gonna
like
recreate
doors that are dropping.
traps? Indiana Jones, if
Yeah, traps, all that stuff.
yeah.
So that's it, huh?
That's it.
All right,
That's all
awesome.
the questions.
All right. All right, real quick, let's go around the room. Locke, tell us a little bit about you, your channel, all that stuff. Go.
Hello. Hello, the internet. I'm Locke. I've got a channel on YouTube, youtube.com/LockSixTime. You can follow me on Twitter at LockSixTime. I talk a lot about EverQuest Next. I go on for far too long. But if you enjoy discussion, send me a message somewhere on EQ Nexus. If you like, I'm LockSixTime on there. I'm LockSixTime everywhere. We'll have a chat about whatever you want. You can tell me that I'm totally wrong about things, and we'll have a polite discussion and exchange witticisms.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. And I do this show as well.
The Voxel Potpourri.
The Voxel Potpourri. Smells like Victory Cubed.
Mm-hmm. All right, Tobran, go.
All right, okay. My name is Tobran Irmwood. I run a YouTube channel on YouTube, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube.com/user/Tobran Irmwood, and I just talk about anything related to EverQuest Next. I have a weekly show called EQN Talk, where I just sum up all the news that Sony have given us, maybe in the community as well, and just put it into one big fat mess of a show that you can just watch and enjoy. And also be sure to follow me on Twitter, because I will tweet out anything I'm thinking about. Maybe I might have an idea for a roundtable question. I don't know what I'm thinking that week, but be sure to follow me and we'll have a talk. Maybe, I don't know. Depends how you smell.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Trendane.
Well,
Tell us your stuff.
I'm trending everywhere, exactly as it's written. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
messed
written
up.
right here. But yeah, you can probably see it in the chat if you're watching this live. If you're not, what the hell is wrong with you? You should. I mean, I'm glad you're watching it on YouTube after the fact, but you just get in the channel, get in here and watch it on Twitch. Anyway, yes, trending TRENDANE everywhere.
Excellent, perfect. All right, and I'm Geekdomo everywhere. That's it. You can check out my Twitter and Facebook. Everything's just /Geekdomo. I have a website, geekdomo.com. Now, I thought
Oh God!
I always
sorry,
do
I was
it this.
getting the sentence.
I thought I always do it this way. I thought I always I say, tell me about your channel, tell me about your channel, then I do mine last. Somebody said that they liked the show, but to be more professional, I should go last. But I thought I always do go last.
Well, like with grammar, like if you're listing, like if you were to say Locke, Toby, Domo, and me,
Mm-hmm.
you always list yourself last
Yeah.
to be grammatically correct. So yeah, that would make sense.
Maybe I screwed that up. Who knows?
But to learn whether you're supposed to use me or I, you strip everybody else out of the sentence, and that's how you know which one you're supposed to use. Because if you were going to say Locke, Domo, Toby, and I went to the store, if you strip everybody else out and you had said me go to the store, that sentence makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
But if you said I, that's how you know.
Agent Smith was here tonight.
Well,
Was he?
he looks
Oh.
he looks like
Yeah,
everybody else.
I never
I didn't-
saw
I didn't
that.
see him,
I
sorry.
How vaults work.
And I, sorry, my
Oh.
voice is shot now. I do want to thank Omid and Pentapod for being here. And if Smith, if you were here, I loved watching you play your game earlier. That was great, Mr. Smith. I don't know if he's still here. Well, no. Oh well, I'm sorry. And then this is the last final thing before we go tonight. Locke's significant other put up a tweet showing that I was going to be attacked by a Lego character. So this is my rebuttal. Yes?
There's a delay.
Oh, thank
Wow.
you. I was like,
It's a Geekdomo Lego.
That's pretty awesome.
he's kind of chompy too. And
Yeah. It's gonna fight the other.
I got the whole gang back here.
Oh, wow.
We roll deep, son. We roll deep. What?
What? All right, everybody.
What now?
Thanks everybody for coming and watching, and we had a really good time tonight. Sorry we went over 2 hours, but this will be available on YouTube
sometime in February.
sometime soon. Yeah, it takes forever to re-upload, but and then of course our sponsors are EQ Nexus. www.eqnexus.com is your place to talk. Open everything you want to talk about over there with EverQuest Next. It's right there, so make sure you check out their site. And we will be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. So until next time, see ya.
Be careless.
Bye.